Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to LizziefayeLovesBooks. I'm Elizabeth, and it is Friday, June the 18th, and I would like to do a Friday Reads video. Now, I think that the original intent of Friday Reads was to talk about what you're going to be reading over the weekend, and it's sort of evolved. Well, I mean, different people do different things for Friday Reads. What I generally do is more of an expanded version of that, where I do talk about what I'm going to be reading like going forward, but I also usually wrap up what I've read for the past week and just sort of give you a reading update. But today I want to go back to the original intent of Friday Reads and really just talk about what I'm going to read starting tomorrow and on through the next week, and kind of a mid-month TBR. And I'm not going to talk about what I've just finished reading because today is the last day of the Golden Girls readathon. Sunday's the last day of the category romance readathon, and we're still in the middle of Pastoral June, which lasts for the whole month of June. But those are the main three readathons that I am working on for this month. There is a cozy mystery readathon challenge that starts on Monday, either Sunday or Monday. And I am going to be doing that, but I think based on everything I have to show you today that I want to try to fit in through the rest of the month, I'm probably going to postpone the summer challenge. I'm probably not going to start it until July the 1st. So anyway, tomorrow I'll do a video and I will wrap up what I have been reading for the Golden Girls readathon, because I am not quite done. Today is the last day. You have to post your page count by midnight. I don't know what time zone. I don't know if it's Eastern or what, but I'm going to make sure I get mine in by Eastern. And I've been working on several books. Prior to today, I had finished 5 books for the readathon, and I'm doing 1 book for each prompt. And the other books, 2 on audio and 3 in print, I have been working on, you know, especially the print books, because print books are just slow going for me. And I've been working on those for the last several days and checking off daily goals as I go. And I am on track now to finish all 5 of my books. In fact, I finished 2 print ones already today. I've got 1 chapter left in 1 book and 1 disc left on my book on CD, and then a couple hours left of my audiobook on my phone. So I am super excited about that. I'll talk all about that tomorrow. So going forward, starting tomorrow, I have about 20 books I would like to read in the last 12 days of the month. Thankfully, the majority of them I have on audio, and the ones I have in print, I am going to use the same chart that I was using this past week and check off, you know, daily reading goals. In fact, let me show you that. Hang on one second. So this is nothing fancy. This is just a page I created in my reading journal, completely utilitarian. No, nothing fancy, nothing decorative. But I just basically, I've been working with really about from here up for the last week. This I've added now for going forward. But I made just a box for each chapter of each book, or for each CD and the book I was listening to on CD. And I set a goal for how much I would need to read in each one in order to finish by today. And so I have got almost everything in this section filled in. I am also proofreading or copy editing a manuscript for my author friend Jack Castle, and so I have that one here. I have the whole month to do it, but I've been checking off as I complete chapters in that, and so that has worked so well that I have made now boxes for all of my other print books that I want to accomplish and I want to finish by the end of the month. And whether I get them done or not, you know, it's fine, but it just, I'm so task-oriented and goal-oriented that this really worked for me. So anyway, let me show you for a second there in case you want to get a focus in on that. Okay, so that is awesome, and I will be so excited to tell you about all of the books that I finish by the end of tonight, which I'll share with you tomorrow. So going forward now, let me just kind of break this down by challenge or whatever. For Pastoral June, as it continues going forward, I have been reading Lark RIse to Candleford with the group. This is an abridged bind-up of all 3 books. and we have finished, I have finished the first book, and everyone, I'm pretty sure in the group, has finished the first book by now, and some have already started book 2. I have not started book 2 because I wanted to go ahead and just focus on what I needed to finish this week. But book 2 is called Over to Candleford, and book 3 is called Candleford Green, I think. And this, in this book, it's only this much, but I did read at the beginning of this that's where they said that books 2 and 3 in this abridged version are abridged more heavily because in the individual books there was a lot more repetition, and since this was all bound together, they took out a lot of the parts that are repeated. So I have all of these on Scribd. I mean, if you have Scribd, you have all of them on Scribd too. I'm just saying I have access to them on Scribd. So I'm listening to the full versions, and I am reading this in addition to listening to the full version. So by the time I get done with all 3 books, I will also have completed this book. So I'm counting this abridged bind up as a finished book as well. So I'm in the middle of this bind up, but I'm finished with the full length audio of Lark RIse, and I will be listening to the other 2 going forward. So that's for Pastoral June. And I don't know if I have accomplished all of the prompts for that yet. The group read was one of the prompts, but I have finished at least 2 and maybe 3 other books that I could count for Pastoral June. I have a few other books on my currently reading list that have been just kind of hanging out there for a while that I haven't been really actively reading. One of them is the Mitford Bedside Companion. I mean, just based on the cover and what I know about Mitford and that series, which I love, I've read them all. I think that certainly any Mitford book could count for Pastoral June. So I really want to make some progress in this. I don't plan to finish it by the end of the month by any means, or I would have to just read this and nothing else. But I do want to crack it back open and read some more in it, and definitely make some progress, and then continue to make monthly progress in this book and also the Kitchen Reader, which is also hanging out on my currently reading list, and I haven't been currently reading it in a few months. This is another one, same thing. I started this, I think, in January, and I haven't picked it up since then because it just hasn't fit any of the other things and the themes that I've been doing each month. I have 8 or 9 chapters left in this, and I have this now in my, this is one of the books that I've got here in my reading journal that will be finished by the end of this month. I am definitely going to finish that one and get that one off my list. The other print books that I have on my want to read list, if I don't get to all of these, it's okay, but probably the 2, well, all of these are going to accomplish some big projects. They're like the last books I need to read to check off some larger projects. One of them is The High King by Lloyd Alexander. This is my only library book out of this stack, and this is the last book that I need to read, or the last Newbery Medal winner that I haven't read from the 1960s. So once I get this done, I can do my whole video about Newberys from the of the 60s. So it's also the last in a series, and that's the Chronicles of Prydan series is on my Series About Series challenge. So I definitely want to get this one done. And then this one, I think, could also count for Pastoral June. This is R.T. Margaret and the Rats of NIMH by Jane Leslie Conley. One of the prompts I recall is to read a children's book, although I did just read, I just finished another middle grade book, which, you know, either of them could count, I think. But this will complete this trilogy for me, the Rats of NIMH trilogy. So that is another one of my goals this year, to complete 12 middle grade trilogies that I had previously started. So definitely want to finish that. And then I've got 2 books left from my last TBR jar draw. I'd like to get one or the other of these done, if not both. This one is more than likely the one I will do, but still, I don't know. I've really been wanting to get to this one. This is Wild Goose Chase by Teri Thayer. It's a quilting mystery. I've got 2 of these, the first and second, and I'd like to get both of them read. Then this one, I don't know anything about. It's by Baxter Black. Hey Cowboy, Want to Get Lucky. I picked this up at a book sale. I thought it looked cute. I don't know anything about it, but I have done a little bit of research, and I learned that Baxter Black was a radio commentator, I think, or a radio personality, and my sister has read some or heard him and said that he's really good, really funny. So this is pretty small, and I think I could just read the, it's broken down into tiny, like 3-page chapters. So if nothing else, I can at least get started on it and read 1 or 2 a day. And if I want to finish it by the end of the month, I think I need to read maybe 4 a day. And so it's definitely doable. So I think that is all of the print books. Now, another book I had said I was going to read in print this month was the Randoms trilogy. This was one of the other middle grade trilogies I wanted to work on this month or finish. And since I have found out that the Bookish Bryants and I think Steve Donahue and a few other hosts are going to have a science fiction readathon in November, I thought this would be the perfect one to postpone until November. So I've already read Randoms, but there are there's 2 more in the trilogy, Rebels and Renegades, and I will definitely plan to read both of those in the month of November, in addition to whatever nonfiction books that I pick for Nonfiction November. Sorry, there's a loud truck going by. Okay, so then, so that, in case you remembered from my TBR for this month, I had said I was going to read those because I drew it out of a hat, and now I have an excuse to postpone it. And I think really with everything else I have to do, and you know, if I can just get this one done, then I'm good, and I won't attempt to work on another trilogy until next month. Okay, so on audio in my car, I am going to also work on a book on my Serious About Series challenge. This is book 2 in the, oh goodness, now I can't say it. The first one is The Apple Orchard. The third one is The Lost and Found Bookshop at Bella Vista Chronicles. That's it, by Susan Wiggs. And this is book 2. It's just a 3-book series at this point. I don't know if there's going to be more. And I read the third one without even realizing it was connected to The Apple Orchard, and somehow missed this one. So this is just me going back and picking up this one so that I can continue with the series should it continue on. I haven't loved the series. I liked the third book. I wasn't very crazy about the first book, but who knows where this one will fall. So I'm definitely willing to give it a try. And then I did add one more book to my TBR for this month that I had kind of forgotten I had sort of committed to reading. And then this, just a couple of days ago, I saw Nicole's announcement from Who Picked This Book that they were doing a discussion of The Cracked Spine by Paige Shelton. My sister sent me this book last year, and when I saw that they were reading something that I owned, I thought, oh, I need to read that. Well, I just had too much going on with the Golden Girls Readathon finishing up, and I just couldn't get to it. But while the video is still fresh and new, I want to go ahead and listen to this. It's on Hoopla on audio, and I'm going to squeeze this in this weekend so that I can watch their discussion video, and I'm looking forward to that. So then another book, another cozy mystery that I want to read before I start the summer cozy mystery reading challenge, is this one by Laura Childs. This is book 4 in the Cackleberry Club Mysteries, Steak and Eggs. And the next book, I think, is Eggs in a Casket. So I need that for the letter E in summer, because that challenge is to read books that start with S-U-M-M-E-R. So I wanted to get this one out of the way before I start that challenge. And then I have 2 books that are leading up to a book club book that I need to read in a couple of months. They're by Chanel Cleeton. This one is a Reese Witherspoon book club pick, so this book has already had plenty of wear and tear. Both of these are on Audible Plus. The third one is not, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on audio or not. But this first one, Next Year in Havana and When We Left Cuba, look really good. I'm looking forward to these. The third one is called Last Train to Key West. I believe they're both historical, or at least they have a historical thread. It may be half modern, half historical, with 2 different timelines. So either way, I enjoy that timeline, and so I'm looking forward to that. And then my last big project that I haven't accomplished yet this month are my author binges. And I said back at the beginning of the year, when I scheduled out which authors I wanted to binge each month, that June would be my month of the Lauries, the Lori authors that I have on my shelf. I have 3 of them. 2 of them are Christian and 1 is romance. So the romance author is Laurie Wick, and I have read the first book in the Twilight Texas series. It's the Sweetheart Knitting Club, I believe, and it was okay. I read it. I went ahead and passed it on to someone else, and I didn't really know that I would come back to the series. But then I kept seeing some of these really cute covers, and I thought, oh, I have to just go ahead and pick these up. So I just recently found this one at a library book sale. This is book 2, The True Love Quilting Club. These are all on audio, I think on Hoopla and Scribd. So I don't think these would count for the category romance readathon, and since I've got a couple of others that are going to expire on Hoopla before I can get to this one, or at least one, Steak and Eggs is going to expire on Hoopla, I think tomorrow. So I've got to listen to it first, and then I had, or maybe this one, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to be able to binge them one after the other because I have to throw that one in there at some point so I don't lose that borrow. But I will get to these before I go to the next author. So then book 3, because I've already read book 1. This is book 2. Book 3 is The First Love Cookie Club. And then book 4 is The Welcome Home Garden Club. And I have quite a few more in this series, but if I can just get to those 3, I will consider that goal accomplished. I did go back and look at my video where I announced that project of 12, was it 12 or 21? 21 authors I wanted to binge in 2021. And in that video, I said that my goal was to read 4 from each author, but I have since amended that to 3. 3 books minimum by each author. Some I have done 4, but 3 is the minimum, and if I do 4, then that's a bonus. Then the next one is Laurie Wick. Now, I thought that at one point I had seen all 3 of these on Hoopla, but it's only books 2 and 3 that are on Hoopla on audio. Book 1 is on Scribd, but I have to listen to the Candleford books on Scribd first. Then, if Scribd doesn't cut me off and I can get this one, I will listen to this one on Scribd, Moonlight on the Mill Pond, and then I will listen to the next 2. I always forget the order. This is book 2, Just Above a Whisper. And, sorry, there's lint floating around. Leave a Candle Burning. So, I'm kind of holding off. In fact, these may be the last 3 that I get to, and I may get to the Laurie Copeland books first, because I've got to get through the Candleford books before I can start that one. I don't want to pick up the first one of those and then not have both the Candleford books, because I can always pick up a different trilogy by Laurie Wick. I've got another one, I think it's the Big Sky trilogy on my shelf. I can always switch to that one if necessary. I've got 3 standalones by Laurie Copeland that I want to get to. Roses Will Bloom Again, Now and Always, and Monday Morning Faith. And that should do it. That is about 40 books, not 40, 20 books that I would like to try to get to before the end of the month. So I've got 12 days left to get these done. Most of them are on audio, and the print books that are the most important, I've got mapped out on my chart. So that's always the biggest challenge, is can I get all these print books done? Audio is generally not a problem, especially since both of almost all of these, all but one, are on my phone, and I can speed them up, and so that's, you know, always fun. So that is it for this edition of Friday Reads. What I am reading this weekend, starting with these 2 right here after I finish what I'm finishing up today. And actually, we may go tomorrow and run some errands, maybe do a little book shopping and get haircuts. So this will be in my car, The Beekeeper's Ball by Susan Wiggs. And those will be the first things that I start, as well as over to Candleford. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're reading this weekend. And if you have been participating in the Golden Girls Readathon, don't forget you get your points in. If you're watching this today, you've got until tonight to get those points in, or page counts in. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.